Digital marketing agencies ship too much and move way too slow. The edge now is fewer deliverables and smart AI. Today I'll show you Lift Performance Gym's workflow using Splashdsh. This is a system that one operator can perform, making your agency way more profitable. First, the problem we walked into. Lift Performance Gym is in Southington, Connecticut. Their previous website had many pages, but most of them had zero traffic. We used Splashdash's top pages report to prove it. That data led us to consolidate into one high conversion page. Here is how we turn proof into a clean path. So my objective is to find non-performing pages, plan redirects, and justify a one-page design. I'm going to start by pulling the top pages in Splashdsh for the domain lift-performance.com. When I get the table of all the pages, I'm going to filter to the organic and sort by clicks. For the pages that have zero demand, we won't maintain them and we'll simply redirect them. This is a great redirect map if you're pitching a one-page design. It allows you to reduce bloat and focuses on authority and conversions. The outcome is a redirect plan and a one-page architecture. Once you have your list of URLs, the Duda content management system makes it super easy. 301s are fast. Simply go to the settings, click on the redirects, and from here, I can bulk upload them or add them one by one. This prevents traffic loss and concentrates authority on the single page we're going to send ads to. Next, we needed the right words and visuals. We built the page with a clear story, promise, proof, programs, FAQs, and one call to action, the assessment. Less navigation, less friction, more booked sessions. This was all done on the client's primary domain name. Messaging came from Splashdash's sentiment analysis. We compared Lift with nearby gyms. We kept what people love, founder-led coaching, flexible classes, community wins, and we cut vague claims. We also planned all of the visuals around these themes. I'm gonna navigate to Splashdsh. I'm gonna look for customer sentiment. I'm gonna type in the name of the business and its information. Once Splashdsh loads, it's going to give me a front end that shows me sentiment by most commonly used words. I can filter all of the reviews to see how these words are mentioned in reference to the names of the titles of the points. Next, I'm going to do sentiment analysis across nearby gyms. In Splashdsh, I'm going to search sentiment analysis. I'm going to type in the keyword. In this case, it's going to be gym and the location. What I'm going to see is what the market loves and what they hate. This way, I can focus on the things that are going to generate trust and I can cut vague, low trust claims. This becomes headlines and a shot list for what we're going to need to communicate with the brand. Demographics showed a millennial and Gen X core within 5 to 10 miles. We tuned that tone, the offer, and creative to that reality. My objective with local demographics is to validate the audience, the focus, and the tone. I'm going to log into Splashdsh and run a local demographics report. I'm going to type in the location, which is Southington, Connecticut, of exactly where that gym is located. From there, I'm going to be able to see so many different things like the population, the race and ethnicity of the people in that area, the demographics of the generations of the people in that area, the income groups, which is going to allow me to focus on the areas that match their brand, and this ultimately will give me guidance on how to position them in the right places. The outcome is audience-aligned messaging and creative. With message and audience locked, we built the page fast. For the build steps, we wireframed in v0.dev, drafted copy in their specific MyGPT using sentiment bullets, launched a focused landing page, and ran social ads within a 5-mile radius. Sent everyone to the call to action, which was the assessment, and so I had visibility. I connected their Calendly leads with Zapier so that I can get a notification each time they got a lead. Personally, I love using v0.dev to come up with these prototypes really quickly. So before we actually designed the page, we took all of the data that we learned from Splashdsh, and this is what the wireframe ended up looking like. What you'll see is it's a bare bones reflection of what we really wanted to communicate across the site. One, that it wasn't a gym, and this is a real fitness decision with personalized training, real results, no contracts, and no guesswork. All of that was found from sentiment analysis. We wanted to script a video that would play so that users can see how the gym is and how they can envision themselves working with the gym. Then we wanted to showcase what it was not, again, focusing on the sentiment analysis, the journey at Lift, including the different assessments, the custom plan via the app, the 7-day free trial, etc. video testimonials from different clients, the founders themselves, and then of course the call to action, which is the free assessment and then the 7 days free trial. I love using v0.dev because it allows me to rapidly prototype these kinds of things so that I have multiple options to go through with the client before I actually build something directly inside of their actual website. The ad budget for the campaign came from Splashdash's ad budget simulator. We started controlled and scaled as lead quality proved out. Data first, claim second. Let's use the ad budget simulator in Splashddash. I'll enter the primary town, and the AI is going to find the nearby towns. We can exclude demographics that don't make sense to target. For example, anybody under 18 or a specific demographic. The simulator is going to pull in real cost per click and real CPM data that gives us an exact spend, exact amount of clicks, and exact amount of cost per lead estimates so we can gauge how many leads we're going to get from our campaign. This ultimately becomes our starting budget. We keep it a conservative one in phase 1 and only scale when the leads prove out. Now let's look at the campaigns themselves inside of the Meta Ads Manager. Here in the campaigns view, you can see we keep it really simple. We keep it one campaign per ad. This way, we get as much results as possible without diluting any of the ads in the campaigns. If I click on a campaign, for example, I'll be able to see that ad, and what you'll notice, it is exactly what we talked about before. It is using the sentiment analysis data, the customer sentiment data, and the population data to speak the right language to the right person, with a mixture of video and photo ads, all leading them to the website to utilize the one call to action we have, which is the assessment. We want to make sure that we follow the budget recommendations placed by Splashddash so that we can get a good starting point and scale as needed. All right, and here's Tyler Clark from Lyft in his own words about his experience with this process.
My name is Tyler Clark. I'm one of the co-founders of Lyft Performance, a gym located in Southington, Connecticut. We were seeking further help in website optimization, SEO, marketing. You actually took the time to break down what exactly the steps were to get that optimized. And you were very thorough with it all. It was very clear. From what I learned under your guidance was you do need that professional. You do need that expert to get you to where you're going faster, because I spent too much time and probably lost money in the pursuits I was trying to do on my own. And going through you just made things so much clearer. When we first sat down, I think the steps and clarity you did provide in the plan that you were setting for us was something that we all got very excited about, and we really couldn't wait to just keep meeting week after week to see where we were going next. The goal was clarity, the message that we wanted to send our target audience. We had some trouble in the past figuring out what and who we wanted to target, and you provided a lot of clarity for that. You became somebody that understood our brand and target audience, for that matter, very quickly. You knew where we should be positioning ourselves in our industry, and we loved the position you were putting us in or suggesting that we take. And it wasn't long until we started to see it all just kind of like tangibly come together with the plan, with the website, with the advertising, everything that you had laid forth and we initially agreed to, and now we're actually seeing put in place. I mean, it's speaking for itself right now, and we're really happy. We're really thrilled to see the direction that we're going in.
Takeaways. Diagnose with data, say less on the ads, but more on the website. Aim message with sentiment and demographics, launch lean, refine from real leads, and then scale. One person or two can run this with AI tools that are out there. If you run an agency, this is where your margin lives.